The squad is back. Welcome back for more fitness. Tuesday, 4-7 programming. So for your warm-up today, what we got? 4-minute clock. You are going to do 20 feet of the following exercises. So 20-foot bear crawl, 20 feet worth of butt kickers, 20 feet worth of high knees, and then a 20-foot walking lunge. So for the bear crawl, again, you're going to be butt up nice and high, legs straight, shoulders loaded, ideally up on your tippy toes. We're going to walk down for 20 feet. Nice and slow, loading up the shoulders. After that, you've got butt kickers. So butt kickers running down the room. Then you've got high knees running down the room. And then you've got a 20-foot walking lunge. Just a normal body weight step, stand tall, step through. So just a good old-fashioned walking lunge. Once you're done 4 minutes of that, so again, just getting your heart rate going, kind of getting the juices flowing. You've got 3 rounds of 5 twisted cross on each side, 10 prone swimmers, and then 5 reverse lunges. So for the reverse lunge, just a reminder, you're going to step back. You're going to drop the knee down to the ground, focusing on loading this leg, and then stand back up. You'll do 5 on each side, so 10 total. You've got twisted cross, which is going to be your stretch out to the side. So right arm out, foot comes up and across, stretch out the low back and the shoulder a little bit, and then rotate to the other side. Again, 5 on each side. And then the last piece is going to be 10 prone swimmers. So for the swimmers, you're going to relax your entire lower body. Arms go straight up overhead. Then we're going to try and keep the hands close to the body the whole time. Tuck the elbows in, down towards my hips, and then all the way back up counts as 1. And again, the goal is just to try and keep the hands as close to the body as possible and keep the elbows in as close to the body as possible. So really forcing those shoulders to open up and warm up. After that, we've got some Turkish get-ups. So again, you guys kind of saw last week, 2 weeks ago when we did these. They're very challenging and they require a lot of thought, a lot of coordination. So you're probably going to see them pretty often because they're also very effective and you don't need a lot of weight. So, but again, they're great for your core stability, they're great for shoulder stability, and again, just kind of overall coordination amongst your body. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through the sequence that you're looking to do every single time. So when you go through a Turkish get-up, again, there's a very succinct kind of pattern that you have to go through. You can do these with any object you want. You can obviously load it up so you can get heavy, or you can get awkward. So you can get a med ball, you can get something that's a little bit more unbalanced. Back in CFP 1.0, many moons ago, we did these with cups of water. So you hold a cup of water in your hand. If it's actually going to be nice out tomorrow, so feel free to go outside, get some sunshine, and fill a cup of water at a gorge or something and enjoy. But Turkish get-up, what we got? So here's your movement sequence. Reminders, same side, arm and leg. So when I get set, one arm's going to go out to the side, 90 degrees. Oh, we're going to do this again, are we? Okay. So, can I have a couple minutes? Just a couple minutes?
Echo.
Okay.
Come here.
So, one arm's out to the side. Then, same side, arm and leg are up in the air. And again, I'm going to maintain my gaze on the object the entire time. So, if I had a dumbbell, whatever in my hand, I'm going to maintain that gaze the entire time. From here, first thing I'm going to do, so step 1 is I'm going to side crunch to my elbow. So again, I'm going to use my core, press into my elbow, and I'm going to extend my hips a little bit, and then I'm going to use my arm, and I'm going to press up. So step 1 to the elbow, step 2 to the hand. After that, you're going to perform a glute bridge. So you're going to squeeze your butt, hips up nice and high, and then I'm going to tuck my knee through. Once I find this position of support here, I'm going to go ahead, keep my gaze on the object, and I'm going to stabilize on my legs, and then I get to stand up nice and tall. When I come down, I'm just going to repeat that process. So again, I'm going to drop down to the knee. Once I'm here, I'm going to plant my hand on the ground. Then I'm going to squeeze my butt, get my hips up nice and high so I can kick my foot through. And then once I'm down, back to my butt, I'm going to drop down to my elbow, and then drop back down all the way to my back. That counts as 1. You're going to do 3 on one side and then 3 on the other side.
So lovey.
Okay, we'll play with you next. I think she's hungry.
Feed me.
Okay, excuse me. So
And I will lay on you until you
beat me. That's your strength work for the day. Excuse me. So that's your strength work. You've got 5 sets of 3 on each arm. And again, feel free to ascend in weight as you go. Feel free to build up, make it more awkward. It's up to you guys. Don't add a weight vest. That was a joke. So after that, your conditioning for the day. So you've got 2 5-minute AMRAPs, and these are meant to be really high intensity efforts. So full, just send it on the first one, and then hope for the best on the second one. So again, we're looking for a lot of intensity today, lightweight. So if you've got a barbell, this is a workout where you're gonna see an RX around 95, 65. So again, if you've got a bar out, this is what the kind of standard weights would be for today. So scale appropriately. As far as stimulus goes, you should be able to go unbroken the whole time. So come on a little bit closer so you can see the board. So for the workout today, you've got a 5-minute AMRAP, you've got a little ladder. So you're gonna do 2 burpees over an object, you're gonna do 2 push press, and then you're gonna do 2 overhead lunges total. So 1 step on each leg. You'll then do 4 burpees, 4 push press, 4 overhead lunges, which is 2 on each leg. So again, just remember, the overhead lunges are always total reps. So wherever you go up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, you're gonna stay total repetitions. You're not doing that per leg. So a couple things to keep in mind. Again, stimulus wise, we're looking for light, unbroken, a lot of reps and a lot of intensity. So try your best to scale to fit that mold. For your burpees over an object, if you have a bar, you can do bar facing burpees. Get back if you want. So if you have a barbell, you can do bar facing burpees. That'd be a great option. After that, we're gonna talk push press and overhead lunge in a second, but I just wanna go through stimulus first. So again, if you're using dumbbells or kettlebells, so if you have one object, so if you have one dumbbell or one kettlebell, what you're gonna do is the first 5-minute AMRAP you're gonna do on your left side. So you're gonna do your burpees, you will do push press, 2 reps on your left side, and then you'll do overhead lunges, alternating legs with the dumbbell on the left side. You'll then do 4 burpees, 4 push press on the left side, 4 overhead lunges on the left side. And you'll keep working for 5 minutes only on the left arm. You'll take your 2 minutes of rest, and then after that, you'll do the second 5-minute AMRAP on your right side. So you'll do your right arm push press for 2, overhead lunges for 2, 4 burpees, 4. You guys get the idea. So that's how it's gonna work if you have one object. So you're gonna do the exact same rep scheme, and you're just gonna do one arm the first 5-minute AMRAP. You'll take your 2 minutes of rest, and then you'll do your other arm in the next 5-minute AMRAP. Now, movement patterns, how this goes. So we're gonna talk overhead lunge first because it's relatively simple as far as execution goes. So a couple things that you wanna try and keep in mind. Only step out as far as you have to maintain 90 degrees on both legs. So when I step out for a weighted lunge, I want 90 degrees on both sides with my knee gently touching the ground. So I don't want to step too far that I overstretch this back hip and I overextend my spine. So I don't want to lunge out this far. And I also don't want to lunge too shallow so that I end up putting too much pressure on my knees. For the overhead piece of it, you want to try and keep your ribs down the whole time. So when I'm overhead for my lunge, I want to see this position in the bottom. I don't want to see this position in the bottom. So I don't want to see that rib cage opened up to the sky. I want the ribs pulled down nice and hard the whole time. Last thing is your grip. So if you've got one dumbbell, you're going to try and, again, pretend I'm standing. You're going to stack that dumbbell right over the shoulder, and you're just going to keep it there the whole time. If you have a barbell, your grip can be anywhere from a snatch grip to a jerk grip. And again, it's going to be a trade-off. The wider out you are, the easier it's going to be mobility-wise. But you get less stability because, again, core to extremity, we're getting farther away from the core, so it's going to be a little bit more challenging. This is going to be more mobility intensive, but it's going to be a lot more stable because I can drop that weight right over my shoulder and I can stack that joint, and that's going to feel a lot better if you're flexible enough. So it's up to you guys which one of those you do, but just keep in mind that your grip is variable from person to person. Now, so that's your overhead lunge. For your push press, what we got, so warm-up drill for the push press. It is always a great idea to work on moving vertically. So find an object that you can lean against. Again, a wall is perfectly fine. You're gonna put your heels on the wall, you're gonna put your butt on the wall, and then you're gonna put your shoulders on the wall, so my upper back, and I'm just gonna warm up some dips. So I'm gonna put my hands in a front rack position as if I had a barbell or as if I had a dumbbell, and I'm gonna dip down about 3 inches, and then I'm gonna stand up relatively fast. Dip, stand fast, and you're gonna go through 10 reps just to warm up again, making sure that your chest is staying nice and tall, and you're engaging that movement by allowing the knees to come forward, but we're also, zoom into my feet, your heels are down the whole time. So make sure that when you're in the bottom of this dip, it's relatively shallow. Again, it's only about 3 inches, and my heel never comes off the ground. So it's basically guaranteed that if your heels come off the ground, your dip is too long. So if I'm here and I dip to the point where my heels come up, I'm way too far down than I need to be for a push press. So I want to shorten that dip up a little bit so that I can very easily keep my heel down on the ground. And then again, same thing as the overhead lunge. Once that barbell is up overhead, make sure that you've got the ribs pulled down. So we're not getting lazy at the top. Rib cage is locked down, and then you're going to take a quick second, breathe, and then right back down into your next rep. So that's your workout for the day. 2 separate scores, 5-minute AMRAP, ladder up, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, etc. 2 minutes rest, and then you're going to do it all over again. For your accessory work today, so you've got 20 glute bridges. If you have a band of any kind, so if you have a TheraBand or if you have a long band, double up a long band so that it's a little bit narrower. And then you're going to do 20 glute bridges. So again, just working on stabilizing the midline a little bit and proper hip function. But little bonus credit. So at the bottom of every glute bridge, try and tuck your hips a little bit. So I want to try and suck my belly button down to the floor, and then I want to hold this position the whole way through my glute bridge. So I want to hold this pelvic tuck all the way up, squeeze my butt, back down. So I'm not getting lazy in the bottom, and I'm trying to engage that pelvic floor a little bit before I come off the ground. So you've got 20 glute bridges. After that, you've got 20 forearm to tricep extension push-ups. So David thinks these are easy because he has arms and not much body fat. I find these incredibly difficult. So here we go. Basically, what we're trying to do here is we're going to go from a low plank to a high plank. So from this position, I'm going to press up to my hands, and then I'm going to come back down, press back up. So the goal is to stay stacked the entire time, and again, I'm really overloading my triceps. They're very difficult. Like, we have 20 prescribed, I would have to do them in like sets of 5. So you can do them elevated. So just like anything else, you can go ahead and find an elevated surface. So you can come up onto a couch or anything like that. You can come down here, press up, back down, press up. So that's one way that you can make it a little bit easier, is again, just elevate the surface. And you can always go to just either a banded tricep extension, or you can do a dumbbell skull crusher or something like that. So any of those other kind of tricep intensive exercises, those will be your other options. After that, we just have a little bit of cool down work. So you've got 3 rounds of that accessory, 20 glute bridge, and then 20 of those forearm to tricep extension push-ups. After that, you've got 2 minutes of puppy dog pose and then a 1-minute Samson stretch. So for the puppy dog, again, we want to elevate the hands so that the head can sink through, really relax and stretch out that upper body and that upper back. So you're going to hold that for 2 minutes. And then for the Samson stretch, what we're looking to do is now, unlike what we were trying to fight the entire workout, we're going to overextend a little bit here, and we're going to stretch out that back hip flexor. So now I can overarch with my chest a little bit. Feel free to support your hand on an object, like a coffee table, armchair, something like that. And again, just relax, and we're trying to stretch out that hip flexor a little bit. So you'll do 1 minute on one side, and then 1 minute on the other side. So that's your training for tomorrow. Again, if you're in the Finger Lakes, get outside. It's going to be beautiful. Enjoy the sunshine. I think it's going away for a little while, sad to say. But that's your training for Tuesday. So again, always tag us, pals.ithaca, Forged by Zeus, across the Queens, and we'll be back tomorrow.